you can say postgraduate, what are the competency? But in between, measurable learning outcomes have to be well defined, say maybe course wise, maybe semester wise, maybe unit wise, and those have to be measured and ensured. So those will be the milestones to ensure imbibements of skill and, as you can say, competencies. So learning outcomes, competencies and skills. These three terminologies should be very clear before we understand the concept of psychomotor domain or skill domain. Say, for example, the competencies to be developed for any of the forms of work will be first develop in-depth basic skills and allied knowledge of work and their with associated material and procedures. So what is expected? The student should be able to identify and use the tools for their practice. Such type of thing we can do for first year laboratory experimentation, or they should have good approach in planned and systematic manner. They should be able to complete their task. They should be able to maintain and handle the materials, equipment for the required activity. So these are the skills, basic skills which are expected to be imbibed, and the student should be able to use these skills efficiently, effectively, and continuously. This is the first target given to us. And second, they also get developed with essential values while working in specific vocation. So they should be able to have good attention in detail, persistence and focus, curiosity and creativity, empathy and sensitivity, collaboration and teamwork, willingness to do physical work, as well as they should be, we have to ensure that students get developed with basic skills and allied knowledge to run and contribute, as well as they apply vocational skills and knowledge. So these are the competencies. Through these skills, the competencies will be developed and they will be measured intermittently, whether they are able to identify your tools properly or not, whether they are able to use the tools efficiently or not. So those will be the milestone and we will call it as learning outcome. We may say that learning outcome from my first experiment is student will be able to identify what is voltmeter, what is ammeter, what are rheostat, what are various electrical appliances, and they will be able to use for their practice. That can be the learning outcome for your initial experiment for electrical basic electricity experiment. Similarly, for chemistry, we can do even for BA BCom also, whatever their related skilling is required. Maybe computer is common thing. So basic skills will be there, and from that competency will be developed, and in between their assessment will be done. Now again, this domain of doing or skilling, or common name is psychomotor domain, is also having 7 stages. Say perception, set and guided response, get, set, go. These are the basic, you can say, skills maybe of school level requirement. For we, higher education, our get, set, go are not the domains in which we will be operating. Maybe initial stages, we may prepare some handbook of practicals or skilling, and we may give them to students and tell them that, okay, you meticulously follow this booklet, and what is written in this booklet, you should be able to show anytime whenever it is asked. So that is get, set, go under guided response, and they are supposed to do what is given to them. That type of thing may be good only for initial or lower level, maybe in higher education also at first year or first semester level only. But for higher level and higher semesters, we will be operating under mechanism, complete overt response, adaptation and organization stages of psychomotor domain. So when we will go ahead, understanding this doing domain or skilling domain, what I expected in NEP, we will be talking about these higher levels from mechanism to organization levels in our future discussion. Third is affective or value or dispositions domain. The values and dispositions domain philosophy is effective action needs strong motivation in addition to knowledge and capacity. We also understand in our daily life when we deal with our student also, along with knowledge and their skilling capacity, what student need is lot of motivation also. And this motivation come from our values, and values and dispositions are the sources of that motivation. Values are the beliefs, what is right or what is wrong, while dispositions are the attitudes and perceptions that form the basis of our behavior. So in NEP, this affective domain, attitude, value, disposition domain is given equal importance because unless value system or ethics system are strong, our students cannot become good citizen of neither country or for the globe. Our today's students are tomorrow's globe citizens, so their value systems, ethics system have to be very strong, and as they form their basis for their attitude and behavior, as well as it acts as a motivation while performing the duties. This domain is also having 5 levels. Receiving, responding are the lower levels of feeling attitude development. In our higher education domain, we will be focusing along with receiving and responding more on valuing, organization, and internalizing. Say, for example, during first year, probably we will be, you can say, teaching the students or imbibing the values in the student to follow the values of the profession or their job, whatever the skill they will be performing, it should be done with ethics and values. That is what we will be trying to imbibe in first year student. While for higher level, the design of value systems and imbibe the value systems into the whole system. This is what will be our focus, and we will be trying to imbibe those things in our student. So the 10 preliminary things of our today's first part was this NEP is a evolved document, and its evolution has started since 1987, and it has come as a policy document in 2020. But it has got many national as well as international footprints through which this document is evolved. So this evolved document will have to be implemented, and it is in the interest of the world, nation, and our education system, and we individual also, to go away and implement NEP in its right spirit. Second thing, in as per this NEP document, education means it will be developing a person in 360 degree in 3 domains. One is knowledge domain, second is skill domain, and third is behavior and value domain. And these domains are also of different levels. Lower levels will be mainly for school children, while higher levels of all 3 domains will be for we people, higher education people. Now, once we understand what is education, what for education, what are domains of education, and what are levels of each of those domains, then probably now we are little bit clear what is our exactly job role. What do we mean by educating the people? What do we mean by research or innovation? And what is community engagement? So let us understand, for achieving those outcomes of all three domains, NEP has provided frameworks. For we people who will implement NEP, the understanding of framework is very important. Why? Because these frameworks are applicable for every institution in our country. So whether we are at Amravati, Mumbai, Delhi, Madras or Srinagar, all institutions will be operating under this framework. These are national frameworks. And second thing, though all those frameworks are aligned with global standard. So it is a process or journey of local to global. So this journey is through various frameworks. So it is very much essential for all of us to be aware and acquainted with these frameworks. Fundamentally or basically, three frameworks are provided by statutory bodies, and all three frameworks are aligned with global standards. So after discussion with international bodies of associations related to education as well as vocation, profession and industries, those frameworks have been designed. As I repeat, each of us from any nook or corner of our country will be operating under this framework. Our liberty of designing curriculum, discharging the curriculum will be within this framework. So these frameworks are, one is credit framework, another is qualification framework. Qualification framework has got three parts. What do we understand by qualifications? What are levels of qualification? And for each level of qualification, there are statements or descriptors. So what they called it as qualification descriptors. And third is learning outcome based curriculum framework. So credit framework, qualification framework, and curriculum framework. The instruments based on national education policy are national instruments and they are applicable to every institution. So let us understand the framework in which we will be operating. First framework which we will try to know is National Credit Framework. Now, it is applicable to UGC. I am talking about higher education for our today's discussion. AICT, NCBT, every, you can say NCRT, DGT. So all regularity bodies, statutory bodies, through them, this national credit framework has been evolved and it is applicable for each and every regularity or any institution which comes under any of the regularity system in the country. This national credit framework is based on the basic principle that credits are function of achieving the desired learning outcomes for a program, course or training determined by the successful assessment. Friends, there are three important terms. Number one, credit will only be earned after successful assessment. Now, who will assess? What are the various authorities who have been permitted for assessment and whose assessment will be valid? So there is a different instrument on evaluation and assessment also. In our case, with the educational institutions or with our universities or the sector skill councils for skills, those are the bodies who are authorized for doing the assessment. And when the student undergoes the assessment and becomes successful, then only credits will be given. This is one part. Second thing, achievement of desired learning outcomes. It means beforehand, before having any program, any course, or any training, we have to design and spell out the learning outcome. At the end of learning this course, at the end of learning this program, or at the end of learning certain training or seminar or workshop, the participant, the student, will be able to understand something, know something, will be able to do something. So what are the learning outcomes are to be specified. That is the second condition of this credit from work. So even for our this FDP or teachers training programs also, first learning outcomes have to be given, achievement is to be assessed, and then certification or credit is to be given. So there are three parts. One is designing the learning outcomes for any, whether it is program, course, or training. So every course I am teaching certain one course in one semester. So its learning outcome should be very well specified before the students are given that course. Even every program or even training outcomes have to be first defined. Assessment has to be done about its achievement, and then credits will be given. So this is the fundamental principle of credit framework. Now, from where these credits can be earned by the student? See, credits have to be earned. So it is very clearly given in this document that credits can be earned by virtue of completed academic education, by undergoing training or skill program or vocational education, or even by virtue of experiential learning, relevant experience, proficiency, or professional levels acquired. So whatever the student does during the program, maybe some participation in sports, cultures, in community engagement, maybe in seminar, maybe training program, maybe visits. So wherever the learning happens, assessment takes place, and achievements are measured, the credits will be given. So it is a very broad perspective of, you can say, providing opportunities to earn the credits from by the student. Now these credits are not in isolation. They are related with learning hours. In general, this framework proposes that for 1 year, there should be minimum 1200 learning hours, and minimum 1200 learning hours in one academic year will entail the earning of 40 credits. So what is the takeaway? We have accepted semester system. So in our one semester, we have to have 600 learning hours for students. Friends, we should not confuse learning hours for student with the teaching hours or teaching workload of teachers. Teachers' working load, teaching hours are different than students' learning hours. After one or two slides, I will try to explain it also. But the takeaway for us is every semester should have minimum 600 learning hours. Then students will earn minimum 20 credit. So this is the credit and learning hours, you can say, relationship given by National Credit Framework, and it is accepted for skill education, vocational education, higher education, professional education, whatever may be the class or form of higher education. Higher education means every one academic year will have 1200 learning hours and minimum 40 credits. So for every 1200 hours of learning, the students or learner will earn 40 credits, and credit point will be credit earned multiplied by level of that course will be credit point. So every program, let it be certificate program, let it be diploma program, let it be degree program, let it be postgraduate program, every program will have the designed number of credits and designed number of credit points. And a student will be, you can say, able to earn any award, maybe of certificate, diploma, degree, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate degree, on earning minimum credits, minimum credit points. It means after learning minimum hours. Say, for example, 1 year course somebody is undergoing, it means the student will have to earn 40 credits. If the course is of 4.5 level, 40 into 4.5, so many credit points and learning hours of 1200. So all these things have to be ensured when we design our syllabus, when we design our scheme of education, even for skilling and learning. Say, for example, for one layer level I am mentioning it. So first year of 3 years degree program or 4 year degree program is level 4.5, and after completing that level, the student may get, if we opt to exit from the program, the student will get undergraduate certificate. So its duration will be of 1 year, that is first year, that is first 2 semesters. Total learning hours will be 1200. Total credits which the student must earn will be 40. Credit framework level for first year is 4.5. Therefore, credit point earned by the student will be 180. So like that, again in second year, he will earn similar thing, again in third year. So total 3 years program will be 3600 learning hours, 120 credits, level 4.5, 5 and 5 points, and accordingly credit points will also change. So complete education system after implementation of NEP in totality will move towards first framework, that is credit framework, and it will have this type of structure. So summarizing, for one semester, each semester, let it be first or second, let it be third or fourth, let it be fifth or sixth, minimum learning hours in each semester should be 600. So if we have got 90 minimum teaching days and minimum 18 to 19 teaching weeks, so minimum learning hours per week will be around 35. So in our scheme of teaching learning, we should not have weekly learning hours less than 35. Otherwise, if it is less than 35, our learning hours will become less than 600, and the our degree or that whole system will may get collapsed. And for theory and tutorial, 1 hour of learning will entail student to earn 1 credit after successful assessment. And for practicals, 2 hours of learning will make student to able to earn 1 credit after successful assessment. Now this is for learning. For teachers, our teaching hours and teachers workload. 1 hour of teaching will be 1 hour workload, and for tutorial practical, 1 hour teaching load will be equal to 1 into number of batches. So please understand, learning hours and teachers workload, these are two different entities, and we have to calculate them separately. Now, hopefully, we have understood this national qualification, this national credit framework. Now we will understand national qualification framework, and then we will take a break for 5 minutes, and then we will continue for second part of our session. Now, second framework, education framework. Every institution, I repeat, will be operating under this framework also. As everybody will be operating under credit framework, we will be operating under qualification framework also. So this is the document anybody can refer. Very interesting, engrossing document is there, from concepts to implementation, handbook for national qualification framework developers. You will find in this book, handbook, there more than 5-6 years of intense interaction with all global players, various institutions, where various regularities of the world they have interacted, and then this national qualification framework is evolved from international qualification framework. So this document talks about कमी करते खूप जास्त 26-27 करते. The first part, they say what is qualification. Now, up till now, in a traditional sense, we know that qualification is something, so when someone successfully complete a prescribed program, some award is given. So that is what was our idea of any qualification. In this qualification framework, what is qualification is very clearly defined and described, and accordingly only we have to award any qualification like certificate, diploma or degree which will fit in the definition of qualification given in this qualification framework. Traditionally, these awards we mean discipline free nomenclature such as certificate, diploma, bachelor degree, master's degree and doctor's degree. So here also, generally, as they are presently awarded by some competent authority like college, university, but henceforth, it will be in attainment of expected learning outcome on successful completion of particular program of study. So now qualification will be given only. First, program should be very well defined, its duration, its learning expected outcome of program, whatever courses will be taught or training will be imparted in that program. For each of the courses and each of the module of training, expected learning outcomes will have to be defined. Whatever are the expected learning outcomes, students will be assessed by some competent authority. So there has to be some competent authority for assessment, and that assessment will be in regards to attainment of the learning outcome. So when so many points are covered, then only qualifications will be awarded, and the qualifications awarded by the, you can say, defined competent authority will only be considered as valid. So this is the fundamental principle of qualification in qualification framework. So what are the highlights? Qualifications will be awarded only after assessment and evaluation of level. Who will do this assessment? It will be conducted by competent authority. What will it determine? It will determine achievement by the students of learning outcomes which are beforehand described. So these are the expected learning outcomes, and at the end of the module, at the end of the program, at the end of the course, those students will be assessed, and if they achieve whatever is expected as outcome, then only qualification or some certification will be awarded. These qualifications will be aligned to the academic credit system, which will be based on, again, attainment of defined learning outcome and academic workload, that is learning hours and attainment. On that basis, credits will be given for a chosen program of study, and it will signify the competence which the student will follow in its occupational practice. So qualifications cannot be taken lightly anymore. All these attributes have to be fulfilled before degree is awarded or diploma is awarded or certificate is awarded by the competent authority. Now, once we have understood what is qualification, next well-defined term is qualification framework. Now, these qualifications, which are the awards, which are given after assessment of the attainment of learning outcome for a given learning hours in a given program, after earning certain credit, only after that qualification is to be given. Now, those qualifications may be of different levels. Those level-based qualifications are structured from lower level to higher level. That structuring is known as framework. So these qualifications, which are defined by learning outcome, reflecting the attributes or profile, program learning outcomes, course learning outcome, and they are given or structure stacked from lower to higher one, and this stacking of qualification is called as framework. Obviously, certificate will be at lower most, above that diploma, above that bachelor degree, above that master's degree, and above that doctoral degree. So this stacking of qualification is called as qualification framework. So it will be competency-based education and training. Outcome-based learning constitute important aspect of this framework. Now, it will be based on three domains: knowledge, skills, values, and attitude acquired or possessed by individual student. They are more important than mode of acquiring them. So whether students learn through formal system, informal system, or non-formal system, that is not important. But if students has acquired out of school student, out of college student, those who are experientially doing, some are practicing, they can also be given qualification. So what is important takeaway is that it is not necessary that those students who will enter into higher education will necessarily come only from 12, 10 plus 2 or 12th or schooling. Some school dropout student, if they have achieved the qualification and level equivalent to 12, that is level 4, they can also enter into higher education, that is 4.5 level. So this qualification framework provides that flexibility. So now we have understood credit framework, we have understood qualification framework. Now we will understand what is national qualification framework. Now to understand national qualification framework, as right from the beginning of today's session, we know that it is a journey of local to global. We are in the phase of globalization of education system. So all framework are aligned with international standard. Even our national qualification framework is also aligned with most accepted globally international qualification framework, which is European higher education area. You can say framework of European Union countries. It is called as Bologna process, and the qualification descriptors under this European Union framework or Bologna framework is called as Dublin descriptors. These descriptors, Dublin descriptors, are general statements which are based on expected achievement of the learning outcomes for a given qualification. So there are 5 Dublin descriptors, qualification descriptors, and India has also adopted or aligned our national qualification framework with international qualification framework of European Union. So our national framework is similar to Bologna framework, and our national qualification descriptors are similar to or in align with Dublin descriptors. So without going into what those Dublin descriptors, we will go for paucity of time for our national qualification framework. But takeaway is that we will be operating under these frameworks, national framework. Every institute, any nook and corner of our country will be operating or governed under national qualifications framework, and those frameworks are aligned with international framework. So let us understand, if we understand our framework, we can also understand what are those international frameworks, because we have taken from them many of the part. So this national qualification framework is instrument for the classification of qualification according to a set of criteria for specified levels of learning achieved, and it would integrate and coordinate the qualifications from each education and training sector into a single comprehensive qualification framework. So this is probably the fundamental principle, and all of us should understand that all different types of qualifications available or given in various institutions and various universities across the country. Now they are integrated and coordinated into one single comprehensive qualification framework. It is applicable for education sector as well as training sector, as well as education and training sector. So whether we are talking about skilling in isolation, training in isolation, or training as a part of, you can say, main academic institution, because our skilling training will be integrated in our academic stream also. But whatever curriculum we design, whatever structure we design, whatever program we design, our program designing, curriculum designing, course designing, training designing should be fit into credit framework and this single qualification framework. So before actually going into training skilling framework, we should understand what is this single comprehensive qualification framework is. In India, national qualification framework is given for both general education as well as for vocational education and training also. So they are something like NVQF and VEQF. And from these two, even before National Education Policy was formally submitted in 2014 and accepted in 2020, this SQF, National Skills Qualification Framework, was ready in 2013. And National Education Policy clearly mentions that whatever NSQF is already prepared, it will be further detailed, and complete higher education will be aligned with NSQF. So presently, we have to study two qualification framework. One will be National Skills Qualification Framework, NSQF. Once we understand NSQF, which is skilled and, you can say, training qualification framework, it is extended to higher education qualification framework. So we will main give thrust on NSQF, and once we understand NSQF, it will be easy for us to understand NHEQF. Now this National Skills Qualification Framework, which was already there up to 2013, is further modified by notification of 6th June 2023. As we know, this framework is outcome of competency-based framework. Now, complete education will get shifted into level-based and competency-based, you can say, framework, and qualifications are, you can say, stacked according to the series of levels. So we are going into the level. Levels of what? Levels of knowledge, levels of skills, levels of aptitude and responsibility. So three domain: knowledge domain, skill domain, aptitude and behavioral domain. In terms of learning outcome, the learner must acquire through formal, non-formal or even informal learning. So mode of learning is not important, and it will comprise of academics, vocational, training and skilling, and experiential learning, and it will be subject to assessment. This is the preamble of NSQF. So whatever we have discussed up till now, it is the epitome summary that what is NEP? This type of framework means implementation of NEP. So it should have three domains. It should have levels. For each level, there should be the qualification descriptor, and according to the described learning outcome, depending upon the level, the certification or award will be given, and that will be in the this framework which is called as NSQF. So this is the NSQF incorporates all provisions laid down in National Education Policy as well as National Credit Framework. Earlier, NSQF levels were from 1 to 10, but now in 2013 they have defined it is from 1 to 10, but to map it with NHEQF in 2023, it is levels are modified into 8 levels. Level 1 to level 4 are generally school education up to 12th, while above 4 they are higher education. So you will find that level 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, level 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. It is something like that. We have a 3 years degree program of higher education. Our first year is mapped with level 4.5. A student passing second semester will be considered as equivalent to 4.5, and qualification descriptors of 4.5 will be very clearly given, and according to that qualification something like certificate will be given. Level 5 will be mapped with second year. Level 5.5 means third year. Level 6 means either first year of 2 years PG or fourth year of 4-year UG. So level 8 will be research. So this is how the levels are given in NSQF, and each level is having mapped with learning outcome. I think we should take break for 5 minutes. 1.5 hours is over. We will take 5 minutes break, and then we will continue with NSQF. Is it okay, friends?
Yes, sir. Yes. We will stop for 5 minutes and then we will continue.
Yes. If anybody has got any question up to for part 1 discussion, we can take, or we can take questions at the end also. Yeah, I leave it to learned audience. धन्यवाद Anthony.
Sir, we'll take the questions at the end of this session. We will
Okay.
take a break for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Welcome back. Should we start, friends?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, thank you. So, let us begin. We have seen in the first part what are the, you can say, how this national education policy got evolved, what are the domains of education, what are the levels of education, what are the frameworks which are given to implement NEP. We have seen those frameworks. First framework was credit framework, and under credit framework, the learning hours and credits, they are linked, and as per international standard, each year minimum 1200 learning hours which entail the student to earn minimum 20 credits. So per semester we need to have 600 learning hours and minimum 20 credits. Whatever courses, training, program, everything have to be first defined with outcomes. So learning outcomes have to be defined. Its attainment is to be assessed. Learning hours have to be considered. According to this, credits have to be given, and depending upon the credits earned, the awards, that is certifications or what we call as qualifications, will be given. Now those qualifications will be as per national qualification framework only, and national qualification framework has stacked it from lower level to higher level. So levels are from level 1 to 8, and for national qualification framework, we will be considering two qualification framework. One is National Skills Qualification Framework, popularly called as NSQF, and then NHEQF, and we will understand how skilling, vocational education, and academic education and their integration is achieved through this qualification framework. So let us understand National Skills Qualification Framework. So as we know, it was earlier, before 2013 only, NSQF was prepared. It was aligned with international level organization and international trade associations. Then they had 10 levels from level 1 to 10. But on 6th June 2013, NSQF is modified and brought into level 8 from level 1 to 8, and it is in, you can say, association or in alignment with NHEQF, National Higher Education Framework, which is also in alignment with international qualification frameworks only. So the fundamental principle we have understood, it will be level-based learning. Whether formal, informal, non-formal mode is not important. It will based on academics, vocational education, training, skilling, experiential experience, proficiency, everything is covered. It will have three domains: knowledge, skills, aptitude, responsibility, and they are organized on the basis of measurement or assessment of attainment of the outcome. So they will be having level 1 to 8, and each level represents different level of skills, complexity, knowledge, responsibility, and autonomy required to demonstrate the competency commensurating with that level. Level 1 of the framework is the lowest complexity, while level 8 represents the highest complexity. This is how the framework is prepared. So each level is structured and it is based on defined learning outcomes, that is statements what the learner is expected to know, understand, able to do, on successful completion of the approved program of study or learning at a given level. So the student should be able to demonstrate the attributes defined in terms of expected learning outcome, whether acquired through any mode of learning, maybe direct, in-person, face-to-face instruction, open, distance, online, hybrid, blended. So mode of learning is not important. Achieving the expected learning outcome is important for assessment and certification. Now, each level of NSQF is described by a statement of learning outcome in 5 domains. They are called as level descriptors. Now, they are mapped with international or Bologna process or Dublin descriptor only. So, these 5 domains are process, professional knowledge, professional skills, core skills, and level of responsibility a person can undertake, and they will be related to knowledge, skills, and behavior. So each level will be depending upon theoretical knowledge, technical skills, aptitude, mindset, soft skills, employability readiness, entrepreneurship skills, broad learning outcome, and level of responsibility. The process, first one, it comprises of general summary of other 4 domains corresponding to that level. Say professional knowledge. What is expected depending upon level is what a learner should know and understand with reference to the subject or field of knowledge, particularly to that level. Suppose we are talking about level 4.5. So what extent a learner is expected to know for level 4.5? Obviously, expectation for level 5.5 will be higher than 5, and it will be higher than 4.5, even though it will be domain, maybe knowledge domain. But the level, depth and breadth to which learner should know will differ, and it should be very clearly defined. And that is what is already been done by our statutory bodies. But when we will design our curriculum or when we will deliver the curriculum, we have to keep in mind which level we are talking about and what is expected statement as given. So it will be described in terms of depth, breadth, kinds of knowledge and their complexity. Depth of knowledge can be general or specialized. Breadth of knowledge can range from single topic to a multidisciplinary area of knowledge. Kind of knowledge may range from concrete to abstract or from segmented to cumulative. Complexity of knowledge will be combination of its kinds, depth, and breadth of knowledge. Obviously, it's very clear that for lower level, say for we are talking about higher education, even though levels are from 1 to 8, but higher education means after school education means after level 4. So if I am talking about level 4.5 and comparing it with level 5, obviously the complexity will be low at 4.5, will be higher at level 5.5 or 6. So this is how each statement, we will see how those statements are also given, but we should understand that for each level in 5 domains, the descriptor have to be very clearly given. Third one is professional skills. What the student should be able to do at level 4.5, what the student should be able to do at level 5, what is expected that person to do, and at level 5.5, what is expected to be done. So those statements have to be very clearly specified, and they are in terms of cognitive or creative skills involving use of intuitive, logical, or creative thinking, communication skills involving written, oral, literacy, and numeracy skills, interpersonal skills, and generic skills that a learner should possess to perform a task or a job competently, productively, and independently, and also as a part of team. What is expected at each level? Says skilled labor level will be different, supervisor level will be different, managerial level will be different, CEO level will be different. So as the level goes up, complexity increases, expectation of skills also increases. Fourth one is the core skills, where everything is to be defined in 5 domains. So fourth domain is core skills. What is those core skills mean? Basic skills involving dexterity and use of methods, materials, tools, and instruments used for performing the job, including information technology skills needed for a given level of study and work. Say, for example, at a level of 4.5, which is a certificate level, probably it will be expected that student understand various types of instruments. Say voltmeter is used for measuring voltage, while ammeter is used for measuring current. So that is what is expected for lower level. A student should be able to work with the tools given to him, material given to him, and the method of processing. That is what will be expected. It is some sort of a practice. Say, for example, if I talk about first year student, what are the core skills expected? Suppose a student is performing some experiment of physics, chemistry laboratory. So teachers, under teacher guidance, student should be efficiently and effectively perform whatever is told to be done, the way the instrument is to be used, the method given by the teacher, and the student should be able to repeat it number of times, and he should be able to perform or practice under different circumstances also. But when I talk about final year student, that time expectations will be the student should be able to select the instrument, not only use the given instrument. Student should be able to design a process from his knowledge, need not only the repetition of the process for which he has practiced. Truly speaking, student should be able to experiment from selection of material, instrument, methods, and best selection of best method from various methods. So that is what will be expected from final year student. While so experimentation expected from final year student, while practice expected from first year student. Roughly, if I classify what is the complexity of expectations in core skills requirement, or what statement we should make for each level. Fifth one is responsibility that learner can be entrusted with. Say if the student with level 4.5 going out with certificate will be expected to have different level of responsibility, while a student going from second year with diploma will be expected to bear different level of responsibility, while a degree student will be given with expected to handle a different level of responsibility. It has to be measurable. So level wise, fifth parameter of qualification descriptor is responsibility that the learner can be entrusted with on their own, degree of supervision that a person needs when doing a job, degree of supervision a person is capable of exercising over others, that is the level at which the learner can supervise others. This fifth parameter determines the nature of working relationship, level of responsibility for self and others, managing the change, and accountability for action. So these 5 parameters have to be very clearly described before any program is designed, any course is designed, any you can say training or academic program is also designed. Based on this, NSQF has given levels and various qualifications along with duration and credit framework. NSQF 4, now it is changed to 4.5 now. It will be certificate level. It is, even though for NSQF, it is 6-month certificate. For NHEQF, for higher education, it is 12 months they have converted for level 4.5 certificate. Let us first understand NSQF, then we will go to NHEQF. So level for lower level is certificate level, then diploma level. You will find duration is also given, credits is also given, and entry qualification is also given. So these are the qualification framework given by NSQF. You will find from certificate to research. Only change now it is of 2013. Now they have converted into level 4 to 8, and first is 4, then next is 4.5, then is 5, like that. Instead of level 10 for research, it is now as per 2023 modification. Level 8 will be research level and level 4 will be certificate level. So as per, if I map NHEQF and NSQF, so certificate level is level 4.5 now, and what is expected at level 4.5, that is after first year of 3 years UG program, or after 2 semester, first semester or second semester, what is expected? So 1200 learning hours, minimum 40 credits, level 4.5, qualification certificate, and qualification descriptor is knowledge of fact, principle, processes, concept in field of work, cognitive and practical skills required to complete the task assigned, solve the problems by selecting and applying basic methods. See, basic methods, tools, materials, and information. Core skills requirement is mathematical skills if applicable, collecting, organizing information, and communication skills. This is what will be expected. And for work level, so the certificate level will be a candidate who has completed level 4.5 will be given certificate, and it is expected that the candidate will be able to carry out the work in a familiar situation, but also where problems may arise. Job holders, see, we have to prepare the student for their job role. So we have to very clearly specify, if my student go out of my institution after 1 year, we have to certify that the student will be able to make choices about best procedures to adopt to address the problem where choices are clear. He or she will be able to responsible for completion of their own work, expected to learn and improve their performance. They will require well-developed practical and cognitive skills to complete the work. They will have some responsibility for other works also and others learning also. And those people who have certified may be termed as fully skilled worker or supervisor. So this is certificate level people. So their attributes will be basic knowledge, skills, communication. And in this 5 areas, this is what they will be expected to do. This is the qualification descriptor for certificate level or level 4.5, or generally what we call it as first year of 3 or 4 years undergraduate program. When if the student enters into second year, does not opt for exit after first year, which we really don't want. We want students to come into second year. So they will be completing level 4.5 and entering into level 5. So after fourth semester, so first year, 1 semester, second year, third semester, and fourth semester, if the student opt to exit, he will be called to have attained level 5, and qualification of diploma may be awarded after completion of 2,400 learning hours and minimum 80 credits and 4 to 6 credit course of, you can say, skill course or internship. What is expected? What is the qualification descriptor for diploma? It will be factual and theoretical knowledge in now broad context, cognitive and practical skills needed to find solution to the specific problem in the field of study, mathematical calculation, logical communication, specialized technical skills, clarity of knowledge, awareness of standard and non-standard practices. Individuals who are employed to carry out those jobs will be expected to be able to communicate clearly in speech and writing, may be required to apply mathematical processes. They should be able to collect and organize information to communicate about the work. They will solve the problems, problem solver, critical thinker, by selecting and applying method, tools, material, information. They will be expected to have previous knowledge and skills in occupation and to know, apply facts, principle, processes, general concepts in the occupation. See, these are all learning outcomes and we have to measure its attainment before diploma is given. They will be expected to understand what constitutes quality in the occupation. They will be able to distinguish between good and bad quality in the context of their work. They are expected to operate hygienically and in ways which show an understanding of environmental issues. They will take account of health and safety issues as they affect the work they carry out or supervise. In working with others, they will be expected to conduct themselves in a ways which show an understanding of social, political, and ethical environment. So behavioral aspect also. So the diploma attributes will be knowledge, skills, critical thinking, communication, teamwork, ethics, digital competencies, lifelong learning, aspirational aspirations for higher learning, outlook, engagement, and they will also be 5 statement will be given in tested for 5 parameters, that is 5 domains from process to responsibility. So this will be the qualification descriptor for our second year student or level 5 or diploma student from our institutes also, whether we are under UGC, AICT, whatever may be the statutory body. Now, third year or what we will call as degree level, 3 years UG program or level 5.5. What are their descriptors on these 5 domains or 5 parameters? Command and proficiency. Now word command you will find it will come in broader range of theoretical and practical skills in the routine and non-routine context, factual and theoretical knowledge, wide range of cognitive and practical skills required to find the solution. They have necessarily to be solution providers to the specific problem, logical skills, mathematical skills. Now, along with communication skills, presentation skills also, and they will require the use of both standard and non-standard practices. The job holders, we have to prepare the student for their future job. So what are we achieving? My 3 years student or degree level student or level 5.5 student will carry out a broad range of work which require a wide range of specialized technical skills backed by clear factual and theoretical knowledge. They will be responsible for completion of their own work. That is why experiential learning, project work, internship is made mandatory in this. And they are expected to learn and improve their performance on the job, lifelong learning. They are likely to have full responsibility for others' work and their learning also. And they will be generally trainer or master technicians when they go into that job. So they will have to carry out these job roles, expected to able to communicate clearly in speech and writing, and may be required to carry out mathematical calculation. They should be able to collect data, organize information, communicate logically about their work. They should be able to solve problems by selecting and applying methods, tools, material, information. So this type of training and skilling has to be given, wherein we should be able to justify our certification that our student will be able to solve problems On what basis we are making that justification? That should be reflected in our learning outcome, and that should be reflected in our curriculum and delivery of curriculum. The student will be expected to have broad factual and theoretical knowledge, applying their practice within the occupation. When you see presently they are studying, but we are giving guarantee and preparing the student for their future job roles in range of practical and cognitive skills. They will be able to generate solutions to the problems which may arise in their practices. So those individuals, say degree level or level 5.5 level, our students will have attributes so that they will be able to carry out these job roles, expected to able to communicate clearly, able to collect data, to solve problem, broad factual knowledge, and generate solutions. So their attributes will be advanced knowledge, advanced skills, critical analytical thinking, advanced communication, teamwork, now leadership, ethics, digital competency, lifelong learning, aspiration, personal development, outlook and engagement. And those parameters you will find they are divided over these 5 Dublin descriptors or national qualification descriptors. So this is what is NSQF about. So let us for a moment take what we have learned up till now. Once we take review, then we will be able to correlate it with our future discussion. Now we have understood one thing, that education in future will be definitely in 3 domains: knowledge information domain, training skilling domain, value, attitude and behavior domain. So education at every level must have these 3 components. Second thing, education will be competency based or level based. Under these 3 domains, levels will be different. Complexity, depth, breadth, expectation, learning outcomes will be different for each level. So our level, future education under NEP will be level based, domain based, and it will be governed under certain framework. Those frameworks are as per international standards, and we will be operating under 3 framework. First is National Credit Framework, which talks about learning hours and credits to be earned. Every 1 year, academic year, will have 1200 minimum learning hours, and students will have to earn minimum 40 credits through this 1200 learning hours. And credits can be earned from all domains of education, from classroom to experiential learning, from co-curricular to all other types of activities. Credits can be earned, but minimum credits will have to be 40 credits through 1200 minimum learning hours. Now, once we have understood credit framework, we have understood national qualification framework. In case of national qualification framework, all education is divided into 8 levels, from level 1 to level 8. Level 1 is of lowest complexity and responsibility, while level 8 is of highest complexity and highest, you can say, responsibility. Now, each level will be provided with learning duration, credit, and qualification, that is award. Lowest will be certificate in the framework, which is structured work. Above certificate will be diploma, degree, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate degree, and up to doctorate. And this will be divided from level 4.5 to 8 for higher education, and 1 to 4 generally for school and what we call it junior college 10 plus 2 education. Of course, learning levels can be through formal, informal, or even non-formal modes. What is important is the achievement of learning outcome rather than mode of learning. Whether it is open, it is blended, it is classroom, one-to-one, or it is informal, it is accepted as per National Qualification Framework. Now, in National Qualification Framework, each level has got qualification related with learning hours and credit, and each qualification has got qualification descriptors in 5 domains. One is process, professional knowledge, professional skills, core skills, and responsibility and level of autonomy. And for each level, each qualification, each parameter of these 5 domains, we have to design curriculum and assessment system to ensure that those parameters are met with then and then after assessment by competent authority, after completion of requisite duration and earning of credit, a qualification or award will be given to the student from lowest certificate to highest research. Now, this we have understood. Now, let us go into the what type of education are provided in NEP. They have in the present education system is also integrated into the new one. First is what we generally called is a vocational education, which is mainly related with skilling, training for a given particular occupation. So NEP has very clearly defined vocational education, and it states that it is the integration of complex of knowledge, attitude and skills for a particular occupation. So for particular occupation in the economy of the world or country, when we prepare a student, then that type of education is called as vocational education. Vocational education distinguishes itself from academic education in terms of close linking of knowledge and skills to the specific practical challenges and work situation in the economy. Now, since mandate to us is to prepare the students for their future job roles in the economic situation of the country and the world, so vocational in education is being integrated into main academic education so that along with academic education, we prepare our students for their future job roles in a given economic situation of the world or you can say country. That is what vocational education we should understand because it is to be integrated into our mainstream education. So we have to, what is, we are expected to do? We have to aim for students to acquire a defined set of practical competencies in specific area of work in the economy that requires knowledge, skills, attitude related to that field of work. That is why in NEP, thrust is given on vocational and skill education. Vocational skills, so we have to identify, suppose I am from commerce, I have to first identify what are the economic domains of commerce stream and say BFSI. I say that, okay, that is the domain of suppose economy. Logistic is the domain of commerce. In that case, I will have to prepare certain set of students for a given, you can say, vocation of the economic field depending upon the choice and flexibility of the student. Some student we may prepare for BFSI, some we may prepare for banking, some we may prepare for share market, some we may prepare for, you can say, logistics sector, digital marketing. So whatever are the work situation in the economy, we have to prepare our student through vocational education. This is what is expected in NEP. Now, in case of vocational, you can say education, we have to understand there are two types of basically nature of knowledge in cognitive domain also. One is vocational knowledge, third is procedural knowledge. Vocational knowledge is intended to accomplish the specific task, while procedural knowledge enables further work-focused activities both in the world of work and daily life. So this is the procedural knowledge is enabled through pre-positional knowledge from other areas. Therefore, knowledge from other curricular areas like science, mathematics, language, social science. So that is why multidisciplinary education we are giving in NEP. Those are relevant and supportive to the development of vocational knowledge. And vocational knowledge includes propositional knowledge specific to the vocation and particular part of economy in the country or the globe. So for that sector of economy, we will be giving knowledge to the student, such as it may include rules, regulations, safety concern, market, transportation, etc. And this vocational knowledge includes knowing how to work with the people in team and in organization. It develops sensitivity towards environment, collaboration, integrity, waste management, and other values which are mentioned in National Education Policy 2020. So skilling, training, vocational for a specific field in the economy will be integral part of our mainstream education. So in NEP, whether you are from commerce, arts, humanities, engineering, or any, you can say, program, vocational component will be a mandatory component. It will be based on skilling and training, and we should understand what vocational education is and how it is to be imparted. Now, generally, vocational education, we will find the qualifications like certificate or diploma. Mostly the diploma is given in vocational education. Up till now, we were never giving any diploma in our 3 years or 4 years undergraduate program. But after implementation of NEP, multi-entry, multi-exit facility will be available to the student, and student taking exit at some position, say after 1 year or level 4.5, or after 2 years, that is level 5, may take exit some of the student, and student taking exit after 2,400 hours of learning and minimum 80 credits of earning, along with 4 credit of skill course or internship in the relevant field, they will be given diploma. So we have to understand what will be the status of diploma given to our student after second year, with the diploma given by polytechnics or given by other statutory bodies. So instrument on vocational education has tried to equalize, giving equivalence of various diploma qualifications. We should be able to appreciate what is being given in that instrument So current situation regarding diploma qualification, which we know even BA student may get diploma, BCom student will also get diploma, BSc student may also get diploma. So presently, the term diploma is used variedly and formally and informally across the world. Generally, it is used to denote a certificate awarded by educational establishment to show that someone has successfully completed a course of learning. In our case, 2,400 hours of learning and 80 credits with 4 credits of, you can say, internship or skill course. Such courses are often offered in higher level in focused area of same subject. Sometimes diploma represents specific academic award earned in professional or vocational courses. The basic feature of diploma is it is a long-term qualification. Friend, let us understand difference between skill course and vocational course. Diploma will be vocational education, while skilling will be a short-term course. We will soon understand about skilling. Presently, we are trying to understand vocational because it will be integrated in our regular academic stream. So diploma means long-term qualification, 4 semester learning, 2,400 hours of learning, 80 credits of earning. So it is a long-term qualification. It is higher order learning. It is focused on specialized field of learning for a job role in the market. Now, current situation, All India Council of Technical Education is also giving diploma. It is generally after 10 plus 3 or 12 plus 2. It offers post diploma also, as well as now UGC also will give the diploma. So, all equivalency is given by statutory bodies, by regularity bodies. So our diploma of UG diploma, what we call, how it is made equivalent, you can see. So there are, first column is AICT diploma, second is NCVT diploma, their entry requirement, duration, national credit framework, credits on and credit point on. If it is diploma engineering given by AICT, entry is 10th pass, it is 3 years duration, 3,600 hours of learning, and credit framework is 3.5, 4 and 4.5. Credits are 120 and credits point are 480. While if you come to UG diploma, that is third row, it will be, you can say, after 12th pass, that is what we generally call it as our first year of higher education. So 2 years of education after 12th. So it will be something like 12 plus 2. Learning hours will be 2,400. Credit will be 4.5 and 5. 5 will become post diploma or degree. Credits will be minimum 40, that is 80 credits. See, diploma engineering 120 credit. Our UG diploma will be 80 credit. Diploma engineering 10th entry. Diploma UGC will be 12th entry. Level will be 4.5 and 5 for UGC diploma or university diploma or our college diploma. So it will be 1,200 hours of learning, 80 credits, and 180 and 200 credit point, that is 380 total credit point. So in our case, higher education, diploma will be given for those students who have completed 2 years of learning or 2,400 learning hours and earned 80 credits or 380 credit point. After that, internship or 4 credit of course. So this is how the equivalency of various credit diploma program is brought by statutory authority. Now we have understood what is vocational education. Along with vocational education of training, there is provision of skilling in national education, and all of us we will be giving vocational education as well as skilling education in our regular academic education, BA, BCom, BSc also. So let us go through skilling part of it. What does UGC report say? What is the need of 21st century skills? Friend, this is from UGC authentic report. See what does it say? Over next 3 years, 85 million jobs will be lost because of artificial intelligence and other automations. The traditional skills are becoming out of date, redundant in the market, and those with traditional skills, they will be out of job because 85 million jobs will be lost. But second statement is equally important. In coming 3 years, 97 million new ones will be created. Now it is a dynamic situation. Every 3 years, such situation will change. So we have to continually change the syllabus of skilling. So it has to be a short-term course only, job oriented, market oriented, what market expects. Those skills have to be given into the present student. That is why UGC says that even though 85 million jobs will be lost, 97 million new will be created, and those all will be based on 21st century skills, and all HEIs are expected to provide those skill courses. They further say that 9 of the 10 leaders report that already the market has skill gaps and have more such gaps in next 5 years, causing shortage of competent talent. So competency along with skill is important, and new 21st century skills and competent talent is highly in shortage in market, while those with traditional skills and competencies will be losing because the jobs will be lost. It is said by UGC report that demand for skilled is being driven by BFSI, pharmaceutical, e-commerce, ITS sectors, and freshmen hiring in this field is projected to increase by 20%. Now, this is the preamble of UGC report, and on the basis of this, they had given, as per NEP, certain policies, certain guidelines, as well as certain courses. Now, what are the guidelines for skilling courses? Number one, skilling means short-term certificate courses. So, all higher educational institutions are permitted to conduct short-term certificate courses in various skills, including soft skills. The guideline says the short-term skill development course in any stream shall be of at least 12 credits and maximum 30 credits. So they are short-term courses, 2 months, 3 months courses only, while vocational courses are long-term, maybe of 2 years courses, while short-term skilling courses are 3 months courses. One credit will consist of 15 hours of theory as per any national credit framework, and 30 hours of practical skill training, which is 2 hours per week for one credit. Again, it is as per national credit framework. The short-term skill development course must have a focus on practical learning, doing, skilling, experiential learning should be the focus. Now it should be in partnership with industry or employer. The course should be transparent, accountable, and credible mechanism. See, this is what the basic understanding of qualification means, and it should be increased potential for recognition of prior learning. What is this recognition of prior learning? If somebody has learned to formal education, informal education, non-formal education, open education, distant education, classroom education, whatever may be the mode of learning, it has to be recognized by competent authority. If the student has achieved the level, say level 4, whether he is 8th drop, 12th drop, no problem. But if he has attained that level, he will be able to take admission in such short-term training courses in our colleges after recognition of prior learning, as well as work integrated training and other models incentivizing apprenticeship, certificate courses for students in mainstream education is the mandate or guideline of UGC for all of us. Now, these courses have to be designed after doing skill gap analysis, anticipating job market trends, and identifying the learning opportunities. Jobs that existed 10 years ago are now becoming outdated due to increased automation. Fortunately, UGC and national level approved institutions have already done the skill gap analysis for us, and they have provided with some of the courses which they are asking us to directly adopt and start those courses in our institution, 3 months or 6 months courses. Thus, curriculum has necessarily to be developed on these guidelines. It should be engaging and updated curriculum. It should enhance the digital know-how and make students future ready. It should be more facilitating the training, reskilling and upskilling, and the teachers, what we call or trainer, should be from experience. It's not necessary that we, the teachers of institution, should only be the trainer for such program. Where the industry can provide us experienced professional also. So on this basis, the curriculum is to be designed. The further guidelines for such skill courses is anyone, see, this is not necessary our student only. Anyone who has passed 10 plus 2 senior secondary examination or its equivalent means level 4 will be eligible for admission to, or anybody who is eligible for admission to UG program can pursue this credit linked short-term skill development certificate course. It should be of duration 3 to 6 months in HEI. So along with our regular students who are admitted, we, the student with recognition of prior learning, anybody who has attained level 4 can take admission for such 3 to 6 month skilling program. The focus area given by UGC are this artificial intelligence, robotics, cloud computing, cyber security, digital marketing, search engine optimization, e-commerce, fintech, digital currency, basics of startups, financial regulation, entrepreneurship. So these are some of the courses suggested by UGC. This is suggestive list, not complete or exhaustive list. We can also do skill analysis and provide the courses. Continually, we can modify the syllabus. New courses we can continually add. We can give certification. This is the flexibility and expectation for skilling courses. So we have understood NSQF, we have understood, you can say, skill courses. Let us understand, and every teacher should understand, particularly qualification we have understood, skill we have understood, recognition of prior learning also we have understood, but National Occupation Standard NOS, qualification pack, curriculum pack, this terminology, everybody of us should understand. The NOS is measurable performance of outcome required from an individual engaged in a particular task. What industry associations, Government of India's relevant body, in association with International Labour Organization and international associations, what they have done, they have listed down the various tasks any individual is expected to perform in a given job role. Now, that standards, they are the benchmark for various education and training program, as well as those are the benchmark for recruitment in that sector. So each job may require number of tasks to be done. Now this task to be done is called as national occupation standard. Say for example, a receptionist in multi national some corporate, that is the position, say clerk, or in a bank, junior clerk, desk officer, accountant. So you name the profile job, and against that profile, the whatever task is expected to be performed, that is listed down. And for each job role, the bunch of tasks to be done as listed down for that job role is called as National Occupation Standard. And this NOSES for each job role is already be done. For we, the academic institution, we have to simply go to Sector Skill Council, see what job role we are expecting, we want to train our student. So for that job role, complete NOSES will be available. For those NOSES, what is expected to be taught, skilled, that is also given, that is known as qualification pack. So each job role may require performance of number of tasks, and combination of all NOSES corresponding to those tasks would form a qualification pack for job role, and these are all formulated by Sector Skill Council and available for us. And all qualification pack together becomes a curriculum pack, just like our syllabus, and it consists of syllabus, student manual, trainer guide, training manual, trainer qualification, assessment, testing guideline, multimedia package, e-material, everything is made available through Sector Skill Council by National Skill Development Council in association with the International Labour Organization and Industries Association, global and national. So this material is made available to the academic institution, and what we have to do is we have to refer, depending upon our course, short-term course which we want to run, for which job role we want to roll. So this material is also available as a aid, and their assessment is considered as assessment by competent authority, and certification out of those assessments are acceptable globally for at all levels. So this arrangement is already been done by statutory bodies and instruments which are prepared for implementation of NEP. So what is required for all of us to understand sector and sector skill councils? So depending on you name the occupation profession, it is considered classified into one of the profession or occupation. And say hoteling industry, tourism industry, agriculture industry, sports industry, information technology industry. So all those are brought together under one sector, and NSDC, National Skill Development Council, has approved and for such 36 sector skill councils. And if we go through this sector skill council, whatever is relevant for us, as we see Indian Iron and Steel, IT, ITS, leather sector, management sector, logistics sector, life science sector, infrastructure sector, hydrocarbon sector, gems jewelry sector, aerospace, apparel sector, BFSI sector, beauty sector. You name the occupation or profession, you will find there is one sector. We have what we have to do. We have to go to only National Skill Development Council website, from their sector skill council, find out for what job role we want to run the program. You will get NOCES, you will get qualification pack, you will get curriculum pack ready. Complete syllabus is ready. What is to be taught, who should taught, how much time it should be taught, what is expected outcome, how it will be assessed, who will assess. So all this information is available. If we run our skill courses through this, it will be considered as to be assessed by competent authority, and their certificates are valid globally also. So this is about National Skill Qualification Framework, national, you can say, skilling courses. So we have understood what are NSQC, what is NSDC, what is NSQF, what is vocational education of skilling training, what is the difference between vocational education and skilling. Vocational education is long term, skilling is short term, but both aim to prepare the student for their job roles, and the curriculum is related to them is also available through NSDC and Sector Skill Council. Now, last part, it is integrated with our mainstream education, such as BA, BCom, BSc, and all 3 years, 4 years undergraduate program. And that framework through which it is integrated is qualification framework only, but earlier it was National Skill Qualification Framework. It is aligned and integrated into National Higher Education Framework. Obviously, there will be descriptors on 5 lines like Dublin descriptor, NSQF descriptor. So NHEQF will also have qualification descriptors. It will have also levels. So just like NSQF, here also continuum level of 1 to 8 are there. 1 to 4 in school education up to 10+2, and 4.5 to 8 is for higher education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research. So since we have discussed NSQF in detail, NQF, NSQF only lead to NHEQF. All three are aligned. So they will have again qualification descriptors level. Since we have understood NSQF, it will be very easy for us to understand NHEQF. So they will have levels 4.5, 5 and 5.5 means first 3 years of undergraduate. So 4.5 means undergraduate certificate program. Duration will be of 2 semesters. Obviously, 2 semesters means 1 year. 1 year means 1200 learning hours. 1200 learning hours means minimum 40 credits. It is to be followed by 4 credit skill enhancement. Similarly, for 5, it will be diploma. It will be of first 2 years means 4 semesters. So learning hours will be 2400 learning hours. Credit will be minimum 80, followed by 4 credit. So just same framework, everything is to be fitted, and we have to follow the same framework. It is even up to level 8, that is doctorate degree. Descriptors are same. They are given in 5 domains. One is process, which is combination of 4. Second is professional knowledge. Third is professional skill required. Fourth one is core skills required. Fifth one is responsibility required. And they are descriptors on 3 domains: knowledge, that is cognitive domain, skills training domain, and affective domain. Now, since we have to keep some time for question answer, so I will just rush through. We have already discussed this in detail also. So you will find for each domain, for each level, 5 parameters are given, and those qualification descriptors have to be mentioned in our syllabus when we design the curriculum. It should be very clearly specified our descriptor, and our examination assessment system should ensure attainment of those parameters of higher level. This is what is the curriculum design for our, you can say, higher education system. Last, within few minutes we will finish another skill education, which is important component, and it is one of the verticals of our national education policy frame curriculum and syllabus, is called it, and again it is for contributing in achieving the sustainable development goals. These life skills are thinking skills, social skills, emotional skills, communication skills. So communication skills will be integral part of any type of education, let it be commerce, humanities, science, and it will depend upon level or level, that is from 4.5 level, certificate level to degree level. All communication skills up to presentation is to be given. So these are the broad areas given by UGC for communication skill, which is a life skill. Second is professional skills. In professional skills, career skills and team skills. So we have to have this as a part of our curriculum also, and we have to ensure the capability and competency of our achievement of competency in professional skills, leadership skills and managerial skills. As the student progress will be there from first year to second year to third year to fourth year, the level and complexity will go. So this is another type of Jivan Kaushalya life skills prescribed by University Grants Commission. And last framework is curriculum framework, that is LOCF, like learning outcome based curriculum. And on the basis of that, verticals of new age UG curriculum or PG curriculums are to be fixed. Now these verticals are based on the framework. So all universities, educational institution in the country, whether it is located in X state, in Y district at Z place, or any other district, any other place in the country, the framework will be same, verticals will be same, and they are aligned with the international step, and everything finally is based on outcome based education, skilling, training also. So our curriculum design will begin with very clearly writing program outcomes, program educational objectives, program learning outcome, course learning outcome. And as we know, they will be on 3 domains: knowledge, skill, behavior, and they will have 5 parameters: process, professional knowledge, professional skills, core skills, responsibility and behavior, values and ethics. So on these 5 meters, qualification, you can say descriptor statements will be given, learning outcomes will be mentioned, and curriculum design and course curriculum will be designed, imparted, and assessment is most important part. So when we will implement NEP, we have to ensure that we remain in the framework, national credit framework, qualification framework, learning outcome framework, and under this framework, we have to operate skilling, training, vocational education, experiential learning, and life skills are integral part of our system. So for keeping 10 minutes for our, you can say, question answer session, I sincerely express my thanks to all participants, our Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Director of UGC HRDC, Ankit and his team for providing all necessary infrastructure and giving me opportunity, and all learned participants who gave patience hearing. I hope learning outcome of today's training session, that is to get aware about the various frameworks, domains of education in as envisaged in NEP, particularly with reference to vocational education, skilling, life skills. I think some words I was able to give. Thank you very much for patiently hearing. If any questions, we can take up for 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you. Ankit, should we stop? Ajay sir, Vaibhav sir, should any query or should we can we stop? Ankit should we stop? Achha. Sir, should we stop? Anybody, any participant, learned participant, any query or should we stop? I am not able to.
Sir, it's a good session.
Okay, thank ma'am. Any query or?
Yes, it is a really nice session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So I think, do you permit me to stop? I hope there I don't find much query. Madam, sir, anybody? So thank you very much for your patience hearing. I again express my sincere thanks and I take your leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Let us. Okay.
Sir.
Okay, so participants, we will stop now here and meet 3